This is Songtradr Happy Hour, and our guests are Billy Mann and Benton James from Proof of Concept. Tell us what Proof of Concept is, and what are some of the ways that you're doing things a little bit differently?
Proof of Concept is, the name is precisely what it's meant to be, which is, it's great to love a project, an artist, a brand initiative, or any format. But the hardest thing for anybody to do is to actually prove their case. And when you're an entrepreneur in music, I feel like there's a lot of talking. This is a business, even just podcasts. There's a lot of experts. I sometimes I'll peek in on Clubhouse and just listen to people. Some I know, some I don't, pontificate about the music industry. But ultimately, as a songwriter, and you know this, songwriters are the greatest entrepreneurs in the world because for many reasons. One, we don't even realize that we're the greatest entrepreneurs in the world. And we're not thinking in that way. But every day is a proof of concept moment. If we think about accountability, we think if we don't write a song that's commercially viable, we don't eat food. I mean, that is a direct accountability. That is what entrepreneurs need to be made of. And not only that, but our existence and the health of being a songwriter is also based on a collaborative ecosystem. If I mean, there are some writers, I've written some hits alone, but most of the songs I've written with other people. And just that alone what does that mean? That means 2 songwriters, 2 publishers, potentially 2 different PROs, potentially 2 different managers, 2 different people pitching, 2 people's view of what it should sound like. I mean, that becomes a pretty significant sized collaborative pool, but we don't think that way. And I think that building an artist or building a brand initiative, it's that same collaborative accountability. Proof of concept is taking that way of thinking that we already have and then applying it to either the artists that we sign to develop, the initiatives or the activations that we look to do, or the basic soup to nuts, Benton discovering Supah Mario as a janitor and Supah Mario going to the top, and the list is long of a lot of these artists that we've worked with. But there's also a long list where we've tried and it hasn't worked out. But our goal should always be to prove the concept to whomever it is, the artist, the songwriter, or the activation. And that's our way of holding ourselves accountable, is by branding ourselves precisely that. And I think it's given us a lot of good discipline as we've launched.
Yeah, I can see you nodding there, Benton. Did you want to add anything to that?
I mean, not much. It kind of came from something that Billy is always saying. And the best part about, working with Billy over the years has been the ability to have a large idea and chase it down and execute against it. And I think, that is really kind of one of the driving forces of us as a business, is this goal of being able to have a big idea and then execute against it and prove concept. And in the best way, it's not just a name. It's come up so many times in like meetings we have, or when we're talking to brands or artists or whoever we're working with in the moment. It's like, that's the goal, is to kind of like find this big idea, this thing that feels like it's a little larger than life and it scares you a little bit, and then go through and put together the kind of executable points to make that a reality. And that's the most fun I've ever had in my life.